any amount of points that they can out of SAS. They've been a pretty stingy team, SAS. Not giving up hardly any points so far this season, taking everything for themselves. They were virtually undefeated until the last week last year. Or last season, rather. So here we are on DM Tempest, of course. One of the original maps for Unreal Tournament. It was not an Unreal map, but it was a UT demo map. Alright, looks like players are ready, so we will be getting kicked off here shortly. Alright, both teams are ready. Here is your countdown. 3, 2, 1. Then it's game time, baby. Connex 5 here bringing you UTPL Week 4. Getting started here on Tempest between BRD and SAS. Right off the bat, you see the double team with the Enforcers there. So important to group up early on in the game. Ooh, rockets coming out from Wolverine. Wolverine, you know what he's going to be doing. He'll likely be holding that shield belt area. Slay is usually going to be this vest room. He's usually going to be responsible for this vest. You see Snatch coming over to help him and snatch it up. Follow him for a second to see what he does with it. As we see that early positioning going on, but we'll see what BRD decides to do. SAS's strategies are fairly well defined at this point. We've seen them play enough. We kind of know what they want to do position-wise. It's going to be up to BRD to figure out how to challenge that. Oh, you see the jump boots coming into play. So there are jump boots. In case folks aren't familiar with the map, right underneath that ledge, you see Snatch holding those. Those jump boots are going to give you great access to challenging really all of the power-ups. We're going to actually head over to the amp right now since it's a bit offset. So amp will be spawning in 10 seconds. You see it's right up top. This is basically the middle room of the map, so very accessible from everywhere. But you can see that amp way up top there. Jump boots are coming over in this direction, right down here. So we saw Snatch with those earlier. Anyone who has those boots will have an opportunity to just jump up there and grab that power-up cleanly. But you'll see a lot of fighting over this area. You can see it's sort of a classic map, and that there's basically rooms with corridors and choke points connecting them. Slay already on a killing spree, and now got that amp in his hands. He did a little bit of damage to him. He's going to be on the hunt right now, looking to extend this lead early on. And there's, you see, you got a Spixie respawn, and there's a lot of respawns in this back section of the map. So often you'll find people grabbing amp and going on runs back here, just looking for fresh spawns to farm. Ooh, looks like his mouse freaked out on him a little bit. Sometimes a little bit of dust, maybe like some, I don't know, for me, cat hair, right? Whatever it might be, in that sensor area will cause it to do that. Doesn't end up necessarily costing there, but a scary moment to see. Almost ate a full goose shot. Slay maybe needed taking a moment on that respawn to blow out his mouse. We've all been there before. You see him going back, grabbing that vest. That is a likely responsibility for him. Very common to see him holding that area in a map. Take a quick look at the scoreboard in between power-up grabs here. So a big lead early on for SAS. We've got shield belt spawning actually in just a couple seconds. We'll go ahead over here. You see Wolverine on top of it, likely going to be his responsibility, much like Slay's going to be on the vest. We've seen that over and over. We'll follow him for a minute as he has jump boots as well, so he can go grab this amp if he wants. Nobody there to challenge him. They've got to be careful here. Oh, he actually gets it stolen right on in front of him. Spixie had boots as well, and that could be a huge grab right there. BRD's going to try to make a bid here to come back and retake control of this map. Oh, and the nice full flap with that amp, of course, max damage coming out of there. And on a killing spree, so if he can get something going, you see him taking that over to the shield belt room, which is kind of a dangerous area because he knows enemies in there are often going to have extra armor. You do have 2 or 3 spawn points in there, though, so. In the trap down there, Fragim's killing spree going down. You see SAS trying to push back in and retake that area. Slay coming over to help. Almost a mid-air rocket by Spixie, but just barely misses. Shield belt spawning now, so that's actually a really good job by BRD of re-establishing power-up control, keeping that timing in the midst of all that fighting. It's still a 15-point game, but BRD here has flipped control of the map right back around. Spixie now looking for that 50 armor, not going to be up. Smart move going to grab health, and he may be re-establishing himself back in that room. Nice combo up the ledge there. Good job by his teammates of finishing off that kill. So the last couple minutes, SES has pretty much been even with BRD, so BRD able to slow things down a bit, knock SAS maybe on their heels just a tad. They haven't necessarily made up a ton of ground, but they've broken map control. That'll give them an opportunity to at least fight back here. Oh, big flak. Primaries will erase that. But you can see those jump boots coming in. Snatch going to be right underneath that amp. Oh, he takes some rockets to the feet. They may be able to take him out here and steal those jump boots. Oh, he goes down. Jump boots are on the ground. Whoever can pick those up. Oh, this time Snatch grabs his own jump boots. Okay, so he respawned right behind him. Teammates came over to clear the room. And now Snatch going to be on another amp run. No real armor, but he does have a sniper rifle. Nice job chasing him away there with that link. And Snatch with the fadeaway sniper. Finally gets one kill off that amp run, but he'll go down. He'll trade that one out, so. In the meantime, though, up to a 26 frag lead. SAS just grinding out the kills here. Wolverine on a killing spree. Let's go on board with him. He is up by this shield belt area where we'll be spawning soon. You can see this is sort of the easiest to defend room in the map, and that's one strategy that teams will often employ. Basically find the most defensible room, put 1 to 2 people in it, just to give your team somewhere to fall back to for things like throwing weapons, for instance, that we just saw. Ooh, and everyone just running to the middle of the map. That's going to be a bloodbath in there. You do have the amp spawning any second. Wolverine looking up at it, but he doesn't have jump boots, so he's not going to be able to do much with it. There's some nice rocket juggling going on. And that's one of the, you see what he had there is every single weapon at his disposal. So able to sit back and just chill for a second and pull out that stinger for the long range finisher. So amp is up. We're gonna jump over to that and see if anyone's in position. Nobody with jump boots buzzing around it, so interesting. You're gonna have Snatch walk around, you see, there it is, just looking for him. Both armors going to SAS once again. There's a challenge to Snatch though, so he'll be on the run for just a bit. We'll see if he can circle back around to amp, try to get his hands on it. Oh, he may go down here, so nice move there to take out Snatch, who had 100 armor, jump boots, and was well positioned to grab that amp. Would have been a big problem for BRD there. Instead, they take him out, grab those boots for themselves. Nobody in position for amp right now. You can see everybody buzzing around it, looking to see who has jump boots. Nobody's got them at the moment. In fact, they won't be spawning for another 10 seconds, so we'll go on board with Wolverine on the opposite side of the map. Getting in position. Ooh, as he goes on a rampage. Ooh, a little bit of team damage. You gotta be careful. Throwing those combos around corners. Amp's still up, so this is going to throw all the timing power-ups off. As Belt will actually be spawning right now, so teams now have to decide where to split up their resources. Zion's up there in position for Belt. Looks like Wolverine's going to be coming around the corner, trying to fight him off it. There he goes with those rockets. Wolverine will earn himself that shield belt, but that amp has still not been grabbed. There it is. Snatch finally gets it. Oh, he goes down. Air rocket to flak, they kill each other. Flip switch there for the pickup. Seeing if he can't eat into this lead just a bit. Flip switch trying to quake it up a little bit, diving around with those single rockets. A little bit of damage, but you can see SAS has been rotating over very effectively. Anytime BRD makes a push into that shield belt room, you're going to have Slay and Snatch coming right over to try to stomp it out. Do it again right there. Ooh, and maintain their big lead here. So we're just past the halfway point. We'll take a quick look at the scoreboard. We got a bit of a lull between power-ups. Belt will be spawning soon. Wolverine likely all over that. You can see 6 belts for him already. Make it 7. And you can see all over the map. I mean, on the left side, you've got the armor stacks for every player. So 3 players on SAS over 50 armor. Make that 4 now, right around that 50 plus mark. It's almost like you have to kill them 1.5 times compared to BRDs. Of course, spawning with 100 HP or running around with 100 HP. It's such a difference. Even, ooh, nice rocket to the back there of his teammate. Gotta be careful there. I think we're playing with 50% friendly fire, if I'm not mistaken, so not as bad as if we were playing with 100%. Still, we've seen quite a bit of damage on teammates so far this game. Wolverine here with an amp run, but no armor, oddly enough. One of the few times in the map he hasn't had armor. Scoops up that 50, but that belt's going to be spawning in 5 seconds, so rather than trying to go on an aggressive amp run, with a big lead, it looks like he's going to opt just to head up to that shield belt, make sure they control that room, and you know, play it safe and just keep grinding out this map, because right now they are in a very good position here to finish this one off strong. Yeah, check it out, chat. It is an interesting situation whenever you're playing against a team like SAS, as they do take out Wolverine there. So we'll go on board where Tamerlane got that kill, see what he's seeing as they try to make a bid to re-establish control of the map. We've seen them do it earlier. They do have 10 seconds till the amp. There's 1 charge of jump boots. He's here a little bit early for it. They don't quite seem to have timing of it, but if he can wait just a couple more seconds, Tamerlane can grab this and take it over to Belt Room. He's going to be fighting Wolverine. Nice shock juggles right there. 4 shots in a row. Pinpoint accuracy. He's got the amp right above him. There it is. So Tamerlane now with an opportunity with an amp sniper. Oh, and Flick Switch grabs that belt, so he throws them both to Flick Switch. You saw him throwing both the weapon and the amp to his teammate. Now Flick going to be on a run. Tamerlane on a killing spree, so BRD now turning things right back around. I think they might be a little low on time to actually be able to come back in this one, but you see them making a bid to try to show something off here, and nothing else. This is good practice. Anytime you're playing against one of the top teams, you always have an opportunity to learn, and whatever they've done in the last couple minutes has definitely put them in a position to try to take back control of this map. We've seen that a couple times this map. It's mostly been dominated by SAS, but every once in a while you see control flip and BRD fighting back for just a little while. See Snatch and Slay still holding off in that vest area, and that seems to be the backup point. Oh, it had a nice combo lined up. There you go, 2 kills in a row by Flick Switch, finally following it up. Trying to get a little bit of momentum here, and of course we do still have a map too, so we're gonna have 2 4v4 TDM games. So you certainly want to try to end this one with some momentum one way or another, regardless of the final score. We're gonna head up to Amp right now. We're gonna fly there the scenic route. You can see fighting happening all around it as players try to get in position for it. 3 SAS members underneath, but only Snatch has jump boots. We'll see if he can get up there. He does. No weapons other than the link gun, but he does manage to get a kill on Zion, and another one on Tamerlane. Everyone running around so weak. That amp link gun's actually going to be a great option right now. Spixie with a nice combo there, maintaining high ground. Ooh. That Enforcer kill there was super clutch. Wolverine with another shield belt. stacked up. Look at that, 9 belts for Wolverine. I don't know what their record is. I don't know what the most belts we've seen in one TDM game is, but I don't know that I recall seeing double digits for one player before. So as we roll things out here with 20 seconds to go to the next belt, Wolverine heads up there. We'll go ahead and say I think he'll be the first player to get double-digit belts in a UTPL. He may already have the most. I don't recall seeing 9 before either. But it looks like, oh, he's in good position to try to grab that record for himself, but getting spawn killed a little bit. You can see, like I say, BRD showing some signs of life here, both early on and late in this match, just not able to put it together consistently enough. And SAS gonna run away with this one. Belt is up. Take a look at it in all of its prismatic glory. That one's gonna go to Frag M. Amp is up. But we'll take a look at the scoreboard here as we close this one out. So there you have it, SAS taking map 1. BRD showed a couple signs of life there. We'll see if they can learn from that, maybe put something together in map 2, but SAS right now looking strong as ever. Power-up control pretty much all in their favor. I'm actually surprised BRD managed to grab 10 out of 1800 vests. So that 100 armor vest room, that's often completely dominated by SAS just due to their strategy and how they maintain their resources there. They put people there the whole time. So grabbing 10 out of 18, not a bad stat to look at positively for BRD. They challenged Amps reasonably well. They weren't really controlling the boots that well, however. Snatch seemed like he always had him in his hands, or I guess on his feet rather, and was always up there in position for Amp. They did manage to catch him on the way down a couple times though from that rafter. So that's why you see those 93 seconds of Amp time. The time itself pretty even between the two. Maintaining control of that belt room and of course the 50 armor down below it though, so important. But now we are moving over to Nitro. Nitro, of course, not a new map. It was actually a UT99 map back in the day. But it was a custom map, I think. It definitely didn't ship with the game, so a newish map for them, and then got ported over and new to Season 2. We're actually going to see a very similar setup in this map, where this room right here actually has a 50 armor, then you head up top, you've got Amp right in front of you there. We're actually just taking a tour here as the players run around the map. Aha, we do have a free cam going. So yeah, as the players kind of get teamed up, can't get rid of the scoreboard, but we'll show you. Got the shield belt room over here. Amp is in the box right down the hallway. So this top area going to be extremely important to run back and forth and control that spot. You've also got Sniper on this ledge that peeks out over much of the map. Then opposite of those, basically opposite the two power-ups, this is that 100 armor vest. And this room here with the 100 armor and the link gun and easy access to the shock, this will be a very key control point. This is one that you might see someone like Slay holding the whole map. Basically like SAS treated the shield belt room on Tempest. This is what teams are going to be trying to treat the shock, link, and 100 armor vest room on this map. Kind of your control room. From here you can kind of set up shop, have your team fall back, take a breather if need be, and then push across the map for these power-ups. Again, Amp in that box across the way, sniper rifle behind us, Stinger and belt in this room. Oh, and one more key to this map, there's also a health keg down below, and that'll be across the way right underneath that 50 armor. There it is. So one extra power-up to time on this map makes things a little more complicated, and at times you're gonna have 3 power-ups spawning at the same time. And that's one of the keys to this map, is figuring out who you're gonna send where. You're not gonna be able to control every single power-up with multiple people. So if you tune in to my stream yesterday, we actually saw Mesa with the scrim against SAS on this map, so we got a little bit of an idea of how they might play it. Curious to see how BRD does Tamerlane here. pulling the flick headshot, so it looks like he's feeling pretty warmed up. All right, players are ready, and we should be getting started here any second. I see some questions in chat about the matches. Yeah, UTProLeague.com will have the schedule. Next week will be the last week for the Epic League. Or Epic Division, I suppose. All right, players are ready. Here's your countdown. 3, 2, 1, and it's game time, baby. Connex 5. We're here with the second 4v4 of the day. Oh, SAS versus BRD as I click right off the screen. We just saw SAS taking care of business on Tempest. So you've seen them do for basically 2 full seasons now. One of their better maps. Now we're on Nitro though. New map for this season. New map, new me. And right now BRD on top early on. $100 armor spawned. It got grabbed by Spixie. So BRD challenging all of the armors right now. SAS taking the lead right back from them, but at the very least looking like they're comfortable with this map. Tamerlane pushing Slay away. Again, Slay likely going to be holding that 100 armor vest room, much like we saw him do on Tempest. Curious to see what BRD's setup will be as they push around. We do have 100 armor, vest, and belt spawning right now. Wolverine grabbing that belt. Nobody challenging it from BRD though. Wolverine right now, ooh, just chasing people down up top. You saw back-to-back headshots there by Snatch and Echo. That'll make it pretty easy to finish people off with that stinger. Nice air rocket by Wolverine waiting for that amp. And with 90 armor left in his pocket, he is ready to roll here. We did see that Keg getting picked up by Echo, so that'll be plus 99 HP for him. So right now the power-up's just being dominated by SAS, and BRD's gonna need to turn this around. They want to get right back into this one. They took the lead early on. But of course, SAS, once they take control of the map, they have a knack for just churning out kills. Whether that's building a lead, extending a lead, or closing out a match. Headshot there by Spixie with the amp. Takes out Wolverine. Flick Switch gets a kill on Snatch, but burns himself up with those rockets to see him with the chat. It was totally worth it, guys. And there you go. Spixie over there with some help from Zion, able to grab that shield belt. So you see the teams kind of splitting up. It looks like BRD regrouping up top on the map around that sniper rifle. SAS heading back over to that 100 armor vest area. And that may be the strategy we employ when both teams kind of get a little bit beat up. That they head off to the two different sections of the map like that. Dueling Forces coming out for the finisher, but Slay has 86 armor. He's going to be happy to jump into that one. We had some players around Keg, but Keg doesn't spawn for another 15 seconds, so interesting to see that. 100 armor vest is actually up. We're going to have SAS all over it. Zion going in 2v1, not going to work out for him. Amp spawns any second. This one's an interesting power up because of how out of the way it is, so you're typically not going to have anyone. Wow, his kills just go out left and right. Everybody dying, and SAS with the extra last man standing to grab that pickup. Nice move by Flick, trying to hide underneath the lift and deny that access, but of course Slay saw right through it. He's going to be on a rampage. And this is what we see whenever Slay is holding his control room, right? In this case, that vest room, as it often is. He can often go on extended killing sprees because he's going to be so efficient. He's usually going to have at least a little bit of armor. Speaking of a little bit of armor, let's go on board with Echo. As he's running around, he picked up health keg and 100 armor, so he was at 199 over 100, almost maxed out with his armor stack, or health and armor stack, I suppose. He's going to be very dangerous running through this map, just picking off players that he can find. And right now, SAS knows that any BRD player they see is going to be basically fresh off a spawn, and that's when they're able to really extend these leads, because they know that they can engage. Anybody they see, they're not really afraid of. Now, Tamerlane making good use of the flak here. Oh, almost finishing him off instead. Echo with the kill. get that stacked on health and armor, that is the luxury you have. Wolverine all over these shield belts yet again, this time 2 of the 4 already going to his side, and BRD so far has only been able to challenge a single shield belt so far in this game, and that's going to be a problem. They're going to try to make any sort of attempt to come back in this map. And that is the issue you're going to have. Not only Wolverine getting stacked up on these belts, but he's also in picking up the amps. And that's going to allow him to be much more aggressive. So rather than running into mid, kind of having to be wary of how exposed you are from being shot from all directions, he can just dive right in. Pretty much any player he sees for the opposite team, he's going to be able to just run in, shoot him right in the face. They do a little bit of damage to him, so he's going to have to be a little bit more careful, but amp runs out and just that much more amp time. We'll take a look. 85 seconds, only 3 seconds of amp time for BRD. I think we saw Spixie kill the last amp runner and get a couple shots off. But so far the power-ups have just been all in SAS's favor. I think BRD maybe stole a 100 armor vest there. Yeah, but even the vest, look at that, 7-2. Slay all over those. You can kind of tell. I mean, seven vests for Slay. We have had the shield belts split between Echo and Wolverine. I'm curious what Snatch's responsibility has been on this map. He's often going to be roaming, supporting other players. See him hanging out around that 50. Oh, getting rocketed from above by Tamerlane. And the U damage for Tamerlane, so a couple of kills by Tamer, grabbing that amp, and amp sniper, ooh, amp sniper gonna be his best weapon, but Slay catching him, diving down, and he actually spawns right by the belt here, so maybe an opportunity to grab a second power-up. Takes a ton of damage in the process, but a little bit of map control here, flipping just a bit. And this is what we saw on Tempest. We saw BRD struggling against SAS for much of the time, but every once in a while they would show some signs of life, show some capability of flipping the map around, and that's an opportunity for them to learn. They definitely still have some ground to cover in trying to be a top team deathmatch team. We've definitely seen them improve from the very beginnings of Season 1 onward into next to last week of Season 2 here, so looking like they're going to earn themselves a spot in Season 3, you know, should such a thing be announced. But obviously still have lots of room to grow and a great opportunity for playing these top teams to do that. On SAS's side, though, just more solid play coming out. You saw them sub out frag in for Echo. Pretty consistent roster, and I think that's been part of the key for SAS, is keeping that consistency. Team Deathmatch in particular, it's a very hard game type to plug and play. You really need to have familiarity with your teammates. You need to have a lot of unspoken communication. That's something that only comes over time. So of course, any team that can keep a consistent roster is going to have a big advantage there. And Snatch, now with both power-ups under his belt, well, the belt, I should say, and the amp. Keg is up as well. It could circle around and try to go for the hat trick. The triple crown, I guess we'll call it. And kills all around. So BRD, again, showing a moment here, being able to flip map control around as they've got all the power-ups in their control. Everybody on SAS getting wiped out, and this is their chance to churn out some spawn kills. I'm not sure. Echo says he's having issues. Ping looks fine. Might be getting some packet loss. That's not necessarily going to show up on the scoreboard. Doesn't look like it's going to affect the outcome of this match as it is. I mean, we've got 36 frag lead here for SAS, so probably going to close this one out regardless, but we'll keep an eye on that. Oh, the nice flak ball by Snatch. Sending him a smiley face from across the map. Someone to make out with on a nice casual Sunday afternoon. Ooh, and there's the headshot by Wolverine. Taking him out with style, a little bit of overkill there. We're gonna head over here to Amp. You can see the regrouping here. Never mind, Flick Switch interrupts that, trying to get the piston kill, actually gets a piston kill. We do have Amp spawning up now, and nobody up near it. So a little bit of a lapse there by both teams. Nobody ready for that Amp. Aiko leaving the game. He said he was having some connection issues. Didn't look like the ping was high, but perhaps having some packet loss or something. He popped out. He could be restarting. Fragim also might be available to take his place. I remember they do have a 5-man TDM roster. So it's possible we're just going to see a sub, or BRD saying they can go ahead and end this one. I mean, they're down 30 with 5.5 minutes to go. That's actually not out of their reach, but SAS does have pretty good momentum right now. It looks like Fragim's going to be joining. I mean, a 30 frag lead with 5.5 minutes to go, not insurmountable. I mean, look at that damage. Well, actually, that's not fair. The damage on the scoreboard is only going to add up the players that are here. With Aiko leaving, that's actually going to cut out probably a good 2,500 to 3,000 damage on top of that. So there you go. Opposite of what I was about to say. SAS actually with a big lead in damage. All power-ups that belong to them. So unfortunate to have Aiko seeing some internet issues. Fortunately for SAS, they do have that extra player on their roster. And of course, they do sub people out constantly. So even from one map to another, we saw Aiko joining this map for Fragim. So that's just as important too, not just having the same 4 people play together, but having a 5th also practice. Not just as someone who can jump in and sub, but someone who's part of that active team. Really helps in a pinch, whether there's a scheduling issue, whether you have an internet issue like this, just pop up in the middle of a match, like things happen. And having that 5th player is so key for being able to sub in like this. So it looks like we got the game paused. And that is a good question, how to unpause the game. There it is, looks like we're ready to go, and we are live yet again. So Fragim subbing in for Aiko to finish this one off. It's down to a 29-point lead here, so BRD making some moves here to try to make this one a little bit closer towards the end. Go ahead on board with Snatch. Had Amp in his hand, instead just running around with Stinger trying to find some respawners to finish off with that sweeper roll that he often plays. And back over a 30-point lead. It looks like SAS, though, not running around with much armor, so... So we're down to the last 5 minutes of this one, the last third of it. Ooh, big rockets coming up, knocking him. I think it was Wolverine just got exploded off of that shield belt. Flew into the air, but he goes down. Snatch now going to be up there for it. A little bit early. Oh, and nice rockets there by Flick, knocking him off it. We'll go on board with Flick if we can. There we go, Flick switch. With that shield belt under his health, giving him a little bit more armor. He'll be on a roll now, trying to find someone to take out. It's down to a 20-point lead, so again, we saw that pause. It was about a 30 frag lead for SAS whenever Aiko had to jump out. Fragim subbed in for him, we unpaused, and just like that, I would say this is within reach for BRD. I mean, SAS certainly has the momentum and control of the map. It's Flick switch. Stopping to talk smack in the middle of the match. Not sure what his goal there is. And of course, it wouldn't be video games without some mid-game drama. Down to a 23 frag lead. And Slay, though, with an amp in his hand, trying to extend that right back up and put this one away on a killing spree. Oh, missing that mid-air shot, so Flick grabbing another belt. Shield belt control actually has flipped back over to BRD's favor in the last couple minutes. Gets him with the goo shot posthumously from the grave, but we'll head over to Spixie's side because they've actually managed to wrest some control of that 100 armor vest as well. So a bit of a disruption here with that player having to get subbed out for. for SAS. BRD doing a little bit better job of reestablishing control of this map. That said, SAS has still managed to push it back up to a 28-point lead. And this is kind of what we were talking about before in the conversation in Twitch chat. So the problem with SAS is every single player individually is such a high-level fragger. You can't get caught out in 1v1s with them. You have to try to fight with an advantage. But they're also so experienced in playing together. They've got that individual fragging ability as well as that experience in teamwork that's just so hard to overcome. Spixie there, so you see him again set up in that 100 armor area. Tamerlane grabbing Keg with the amp. Oh, goes down to Slay. So nice rotation by Slay to take out a very dangerous player there with extra HP and that amp. Now Slay gonna have double damage in his pocket, running around with that sniper rifle. But yeah, I would be very, very curious to look at the power of control from the first half to the second half of this game. As you look at it again, it's up to a 24 frag lead, 23. But BRD here showing a little bit of life in the second half of this one. And maybe something they can build from in the future. I'm not sure whose map pick this was. We saw Tempest map 1. My guess would be that Tempest would have been SAS's pick. So perhaps BRD maybe finding themselves a new favorite map. They certainly are doing reasonably well against SAS here, like I say, especially in the second half. If they can maybe look back at this one and try to build some momentum, maybe watch that replay and figure out what worked and what didn't. Wouldn't be surprised to see them playing this map some more in the future. So amp is up. We're going to head over to that. Wolverine with, once again, that shield belt and damage amp combination. Gonna allow him to be super aggressive. Ooh, takes a, I think that was a headshot by Tamerlane, sending him packing with 9 HP. Zion finishes him off and grabs the amp for himself, and that will close out the match here. And there's another run down to a 17 frag lead. So BRD down by as much as 30 with about 6 or so minutes to go, I think, whenever we saw that substitution. Pulling within 15, 16 frags at a point towards the end here. So good games all around, but BRD does go down 2 more points in this 4v4 portion for SAS's side as they just continue to build their lead on top of the rankings. And look at that, Slay with 10 vests, but Spixie coming back with 13. I think largely in the second half we saw BRD establish control of that room. So I think some stuff to look at and some things to learn from BRD on that map, but SAS, of course, continues their dominance. Throwing more points on the board for them. We'll take a quick look at our matches and our rankings. So here are your rankings. Of course, SAS on top, 14 points, only dropped 1 point so far. Remember, there's a max of 5 points per match. Only dropped 1 point so far in this season. BRD right behind them though, only 3 points behind, so trying to make up some ground today. SAS already on top with 2 points so far. And of course you see some teams played more matches than others, so not a direct final ranking here necessarily. We do have more matches coming up next week. In fact, let's take a look at that while we're at it. They're going to be setting up the 2v2 portion of this right now, so give you a quick look. Of course, today we have BRD versus SAS. We're following it up with BRD versus Absolute coming up next. Doubleheader for them, and then Absolute going to pull a doubleheader, finishing it off against G to close out the day. And you can see those matches for next week, the last ones to finish off that Epic division. So as they're getting this 2v2 set up, I'm going to take just a quick break, and we'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes here. Alrighty then. Looks like we have the 2v2 matchup. We're gonna jump right into that. There we go. All right, players are in here. You see Echo and Wolverine versus Spixie and Zion. Spixie looking not happy. Focus, of course, being SAS is really their preferred 2v2 map. I think they picked it every single 2v2 this season. So we'll see what happens. Here's your countdown, 3, 2, 1, and it's game time, baby. Connex 5 here, bringing you BRD versus SAS. We just saw SAS dominating the 4v4 portions, earning themselves the first 2 points of this matchup. BRD showing some signs of life, but not able to put it together over the long haul. And of course, this map going to be typically SAS's domain in the 2v2 portion of these matches. Ooh, just missing that air rocket. You see the fighting back and forth over that 100 armor area. Zion's going to end up with it, so an early power-up grab for BRD. That was really their Achilles heel in the 4v4 maps, especially on Nitro. Echo looking like he might still be having some internet problems. His ping has been fine, but he was complaining about some teleporting around on the last map. Actually subbed out for the last 5 or so minutes. BRD was able to reestablish control of the map at that point and didn't necessarily come back, but they definitely cut that deficit in half in the last few minutes. So keep an eye on that. Echo looks like he's all right now, but something for us to monitor as this match goes on. So early on, 7-2 lead. SAS, of course, looking good. Amp will be up any second now. Amp on this map is interesting. It's up top here, which means that you can piston up to it and take that damage, or you can come around it with jump boots and use that to grab it. Right now, nobody with jump boots on their feet, so they're gonna have to try to clear out the area. Of course, if you're gonna charge that piston and jump up top, you need to have some cover first. So right now, that amp is gonna get delayed, and that is something to keep an eye on. Whenever this amp gets delayed, people's timing will sometimes get off. It's not the easiest thing to keep your rhythm whenever the amp's timing is constantly changing. Oh, now Echo with sniper rifle, double damage, and shield belt ready to go. He is stocked up, just looking for targets. That's actually a nice job by Zion. You saw him use his teammate to distract him, walked in the door, got blasted by rockets, and grabs that amp right back from him. So pretty good counter there to slow down that amp run. Zion, of course, a player we've seen go on some serious sniper rifle tears in this UTPL format. Oh, had a big combo lined up, just maybe overthought it just a bit. You see him shaking his mouse a little bit, kind of getting loose. Might have been a little bit of nerves there. He had potentially a double kill lined up with that shock ball and just couldn't connect. Still early on in this one though, so 7 frag lead for SAS. You can see BRD now in position for this belt. They can hold off for just another second and grab it. Give them a great opportunity to try to fight their way back into some control of this map, but right now he's just getting blasted from above and below. Echo in front of him, Wolverine up top with the flat cannon, taking him out. Spixie does grab that 100 armor in the meantime, so smart move keeping an eye on that armor. Wolverine though, around the corner. Oh, nice timing. Nice double kill there. So Wolverine keeping control, keeping timing of the power-ups, even in the middle of a fight, jumped right up to that amp and immediately got a kill with it. And you can see the comfort level with the map here. Wolverine, so familiar with all of the moves, all of the angles. There's a couple of nice movement tricks you can do in this map. Oh, and another double kill. Wolverine. Zion already looking a little bit tilted. He did respawn right in front of a player with a double damage and a flat cannon out. So yeah, I mean, that was a very unfortunate respawn on his side. Now, that said, respawn systems are a thing that we can modify. In fact, there are some existing mods for it, so certainly a conversation that will be had. Should we move into another season of UTPL for Season 3? But as it is, SAS here taking full advantage, up 19 now. First few minutes of this one. So you can see the 100 armor vests have actually been split. Shield belts have been in SAS's favor, 3-1 so far, and the amp time though really is huge. 50 seconds to 9 seconds. So almost nothing for BRD from the amp so far. And look at that jump boots on Wolverine again. That's really been the point. The key point there is, even though BRD has been sneaking around and grabbing some of those 100 armor vests, they haven't been pulling away any of the jump boots in order to grab and control that amp. So another belt does go to Zion, but he gets blasted, and Wolverine now dominating, just rolling around the map with that amp, looking for anyone he can pick a fight with. Another nice sniper rifle shot, 2 in a row. Wolverine just feeling himself right now. So across the map, you did see Aiko scooping up that vest. We're just about a third of the way into this one. And so far, pretty much all SAS. BRD still putting up a fight. We saw on the last map, on the 4v4 on Nitro, BRD definitely capable of flipping things around and staging a comeback. But of course, in 2v2, it's much harder to overcome a big deficit because there's just flat out fewer targets. One thing they're going to need to get control over is this damage amp area. Actually, Aiko gets there a little bit early. Pistons up top, but nothing happening. Oh, and Spixie goes down. He actually had jump boots. Now he coughed him back up. Amp's going to be up and in Wolverine's hands now, so almost a great opportunity there for BRD. But it's dead. SAS now with power-ups back in their control. All right. So another amp run, this time by Aiko. A little extra health and a little armor on his side. I guess the good news for BRD is at least there's no shield belt in him. Oh wait, there it is right in front of him. So we're just about to reach the halfway point of this, and so far, SAS firmly in control. You can see them running around, almost never at base level health and armor. They almost always have extra armor. And kind of the hallmark of a good team deathmatch team. You never want to fight with just 100 health. So Amp will spawn a little bit before Shield Belt here. Of course, due to that awkward positioning of Amp, it'll be interesting to see what the positioning is for it. Jump boots could come up big. Yep, there it is. Another opportunity for jump boots to get them up top, and Wolverine snags that amp. He does go down, though. You see it lying down there on the ground. Zion able to pick it up. Belt did get grabbed by Spixie, so BRD establishing a little bit of power-up control. We've seen this. Oh, and Wolverine just erases him with that flat cannon. Spixie, though, fights right back. So there you go, Amp trading hands back and forth. And right now that Amp really just a curse at this point, but as it is, take a quick look at the scoreboard. Still all SAS. So Belt will respawn in about 7 seconds. We're going to have a fight over that. Let's back up just a bit to see how things are shaking up. So actually, SAS right on top of it. BRD knocks him off with the combo and the follow-up rocket and earns themselves Another pickup, so BRD still fighting their way back into this one. Going to be very hard at this point coming down to the 5-minute mark. But again, this is a best of 3, so 4v4, you get 1 point for each map. 2v2, it's going to be a best of 3, so every opportunity to come back in this one. Remember, this was SAS's map pick, so BRD definitely wants to build some momentum going into the next map. The amp run here, that link gun, so brutal whenever you know someone's coming off a spawn. Echo just melting them. So Echo with some internet issues in map 1. Looks like that's been settled. I haven't seen him warping around at all in this map. And there is the concession. So map 1 going to go to SAS, but stick around. This is a best of 3, and map 2 will be coming up next. And that will be BRD's map pick. All right, so map 2 going to be on Cannon, a much more open map. So not to say that there's not still every amount of positioning and strategy involved, but see if we can give you a overview of this map for anyone who may not be familiar. So it's called Cannon because this right here, this thing that this amp and these vials spawns on, that's a cannon. Whenever it's green, it is armed. If you shoot that, anyone standing on it, it's going to go for a ride all the way across the map into the drink back there and get gobbled up by a giant, I don't know, whale shark, megalodon, Loch Ness monster, whatever it is. So that'll be a very, very key feature to keep an eye on in this map. We do have some jump boots in the map that will allow you to save yourself from such a fate, but otherwise you're pretty much hosed. So that will make every single one of these amp grabs an adventure. You can see how many different places around the map you can hit that cannon from. Part of the reason this map is so open, but that also means it's going to be a big map for hit scan players. So sniper, shock, going to be a much bigger factor, I think, in this map than on focus, which is a little more tight, a little more close quarters. Sorry, I had to alt-tab out of there for a second. So it looks like we're going to stick with Echo and Wolverine. Probably a smart move. Echo sometimes subs in and out with Fragm on their roster, and Echo, I think, maybe a little bit more hit scan oriented. So if we're going to play a more open map like this, I think that's a smart move to keep him in. You can see the back half of this map. Over here is where the jump boots lie. Right on the edge, you got to walk the plank to grab them. So another dangerous move, and of course you can get knocked off the map. So there's all these back sections in the map where if you're in a fight with someone, you can combo them off the side, you can rocket them off the side. If someone's walking around the top of these walls here, you can just shock primary them and ping them and push them right off the edge. So another thing to keep in mind with this map. And players are ready, so we're gonna find out what happens in just a second. All right, here is a countdown, 3, 2, 1. It's game time, baby. Connex 5. We're gonna get this one started. Map 2 of this 2v2 portion of the matchup on Cannon. SAS taking map 1. That was their map, however. We'll see if BRD can answer back. Spixie does have a sniper rifle. Who's gonna go up close with that flak? So that's where you're gonna see is a lot of distance fighting around the middle of this map, and then some close range fighting around power-ups. And that's where your flak and your rockets can really come into play. All right, we got a 2-2 matchup early on in this one. Sorry, I had to go let the cat in. Joining us here for Season 2, Week 4 is Seamus. We do see that first shield belt getting grabbed by BRD. Ooh, and you see playing around with that cannon. And that's the thing. It's not just when the amp is up. That cannon is always active. And there's those, of course, there's, I think, 8 health vials that spawn right on top of it. So it's always an adventure. Anytime you're using that section of the map, whether you're traversing it, you can see it's a shortcut from mid sometimes if you want to cut a player off. You just have to be so careful because if anyone shoots it, and of course your teammate can knock you off it as well. So first amp's going to spawn. You see them, ooh, shooting that. So what players will often do is they'll shoot that cannon themselves. There's a little bit of a cooldown. So they'll shoot it, grab the amp, and then hop off it as quickly as possible. And there's a slight window there where you can do that safely. And if you're a little bit off and the other team is paying attention, they can shoot that with anything from across the map. And you will go for a swim. So a big amp run opportunity there for Wolverine, but really not much happening. BRD doing a great job of avoiding him and staying within 2. That's one thing about this map is you sort of have the wide open mid, and then there's a bunch of kind of bunkery, you know, buildings with some hidey holes and some places that you can really sit back and defend. But there's a fadeaway sniper with the headshot by Wolverine, extending this up to a 3 frag lead. And I might have missed that. It looked like Echo might have gotten blasted off the map. So we weren't obviously looking at him particularly, but I saw him just fly. You see that mini map in the top right? I saw him just flying across the map and ending up on the southern side of it. That's typically a sign that somebody got cannoned. And you see Wolverine here out way in front of this shield belt. You can tell how defensible that area is. It's a really tight kind of bunker area. You do have amp up. And there's a clean grab by Spixie. So while everybody was fighting over belt, Spixie was able to sneak around and grab that amp. Nobody really in position to knock him off that cannon. That shield belt area is actually one of the few rooms in the map that don't give you great access to firing off that cannon. So nothing really happening with weapons. He finally gets himself a shock rifle after getting an enforcer kill. And so far, keeping it right at a 3 frag deficit is BRD. Pulling it to 2, back up to 3, back and forth these teams are going. And Spixie right now, just a couple seconds left in that amp. Couldn't find another shot, but again, staying right in this one. Ooh, next shot's gonna get a kill here. Both players going all in on that vest. Spixie hits that extra shock primary, pulls back within 2. Belt's going to be up in 5 seconds. Nice combo from across the map there by Wolverine. We're going to head over to this belt, see how people approach it. So SAS a little bit out of position, but they do have jump boots. You see Echo using that jump pad across there over by Rockets, and that's great traversal of the map. There's a lot of ways to move around this map very, very quickly. It's actually a pretty small map, all things considered, for 2v2. Ooh, dangerous. You see him walking right across that cannon to pick up those health vials. Those vials can be such a boon if you're willing to take that risk. Like I said, I think it's, what, 8 vials? So you're looking at... Yeah, 8 vials. So you're looking at plus 40 health. And Amp is going to be spawning soon. We're going to head over, back up just a bit to see his bid to try to grab it. Kind of that cat and mouse game. You can see him jumping right on it. Able to grab that cleanly this time. And he's going to be on the run, trying to extend this lead. Ooh, the rockets and the flat coming out. You see the weapon selection is actually very key in this map since you're constantly having to switch between that hit scan and the close range. You saw him doing a good job there, but that flak switch may be coming a little bit late. Ends up paying for it. So back to a 3 frag lead. Zion, if he can turn this corner, could get a couple more shots up. There it is, just at the last second. Keeping this to a 2 frag lead, or a 2 frag deficit, I should say, 2 frag lead for SAS, but these two teams have been dead even for about 5 minutes now. Oh, he misses another combo. We've seen a couple of combos by BRD so far today that were just lined up perfectly and just couldn't connect. Ooh, Echo getting headshot there. Not sure if he was looking into the void or... We'll go on board with Echo. He was having some internet issues before. It looks like he might be AFK. I'm not sure if he's getting disconnected entirely or what's happening. They do have a pause function in this game, so if Aiko's disconnected, they can pause the game. We saw that in the 4v4. So not sure what, if they're aware or what the deal is there. Okay, it looks like he got disconnected. And I think they have to kick him maybe to pause the game, so... There he goes. So Aiko out of the game. I think it should pause now. I'm not sure if it has to be configured or if someone has to do it manually, but in any case, there it is. There's the pause coming in. All right, so Fragim gonna sub in. Aiko having a little bit more internet issues. Again, so key to have that sub ready to go. And we are live again, and the amp is still up. You see all the fighting across the map. Zion in great position. Oh, there he goes, firing off that cannon. He's got a split second. Ooh, it would have been tight there. Someone may have had a chance to knock him off it, but instead gets the kill, and now BRD up 4. So a key moment of control flipping there as Aiko's internet dies on him, I guess. Oh, but Wolverine with the counter snipe on Zion, who had that amp across the map. 100 armor is up, and that amp is lying right over near it. We'll see who gets there first. Zion actually gets there first, and that is kind of the downside whenever you snipe someone from across the map. Very well maybe spawning right back by it. Oh, big flak ball there to defend himself by Zion. And the primary in midair doing all sorts of damage, but Fragim hangs in there and gets the kill. Back to a 2 frag lead, this time for BRD. Down to a 1 frag lead. So SAS now having to fight their way back into this one after the disconnect. Just about the halfway point though, so we are dead even between these two. So you're gonna notice the shield belt and amp will be spawning at about the same time. We're gonna head over to belt. Looks like we have BRD getting a couple kills en route. SAS gonna spawn across the map. Could be an easy grab here for BRD, and this could be key because that spawn, you see Spixie grabbing it. We do have the amp spawning right now as well. Wolverine's over back by it. And that's a clean grab for Wolverine on top of that 100 armor. Oh, big rockets coming in after some damage. Zion gonna grab that amp for himself. Has to be careful with it. Still lots of time left on it, but only 29 HP. Ooh, dodging those rockets. That looked like an old Doom moment right there. Fireball's just buzzing by him left and right. Stands in there. Not able to get another kill with that amp, but does keep it out of the hands of SAS. And there's a sniper shot to extend that lead to 4. Ooh, Wolverine, you saw him standing in there just trying to be sneaky, and Zion not having any of it with the combo and the shield belt grab. BRD now trying to extend this lead, heading into the final third of this match. Amp's not going to spawn for 23 seconds, so Zion right now really going to make his way over. That best is going to spawn right now, and BRD in great position to stack right back up on it. So we'll go on board with Spixie, who just grabbed that 100 armor. We do have the amp spawning in just a few seconds. We haven't gotten to watch anyone fly off the map, so we'll see if that happens this time. We're going to be in position. You see them heading around the shield belt area, although it doesn't spawn for another 20 seconds. Meanwhile, amp is up. So kind of interesting to see the teams rotating right now this way. So a lot of fighting over the shield belt, which actually now is up in 10 seconds. So now Wolverine may hang out and grab it. But kind of surprised to see nobody rotate at all over to amp. So there it is. Spixie grabs amp. We're going to go on board with him. Clean grab while everyone was distracted at belt. We've actually seen that a couple times where everyone's fighting at belt, allows someone to actually get a very, very safe grab of that amp, which is fairly rare on this map because it's so exposed. And of course it is on a giant death trap, which, you know, plays in. Oh, there's the double team. Nice job there by Spixie of just surviving, backing into that jump pad. You see the familiarity with the map. Oh, and the Amped Enforcer, 3 shots in a row. Amped Enforcer is so scary, 44 damage. Wolverine finally finishes him off, but not before extending that lead to 6. So BRD putting themselves in great position here. Up by 7 with just about 4 minutes to go. Gonna have a big fight over this belt, and every power-up is just so important now. Now we got a close game with time ticking down. BRD doing a great job of singling out SAS players right now. Oh, but Spixie goes down Wolverine. Just raining up combos. Death from below, and that's you know, that's something that's fairly unique to Unreal Tournament. It should be mentioned, is the ability to get those kills around corners like that. The high ground is useful, but sometimes it can lull you into a false sense of security when a combo comes right around that corner and blasts you in the face. All right, we actually have the amp spawning before the 100 armor, so let's go take a look at that and see if anyone's going to make a jump for it. You see that they're fighting across the map. Wolverine and Frag-M trying to reestablish themselves. Wolverine having jump boots there. That's going to give him a bit of an angle, but he falls into the water. Oh, and that allows Zion to sneak back around. They're going to be vulnerable here. Oh, he has to jump off because he timed it wrong, so that cannon actually would have blasted him off the map. Oh, and there's the kill that actually would have shot him off the map. Instead, he goes down from the damage, and that allows Zion to grab this amp. So that's the key. If you get blasted off that map, that amp completely disappears. No one can grab it. In this case, he actually got killed by the splash damage first, allowing that amp to fall down and allowing Zion to pick it right back up. And that could be a key exchange there, where instead of that amp just disappearing, BRD keeps it in their hands. In the meantime, though, check out SAS, both with over 100 armor. They have just soaked up all those power-ups in the last 30 seconds. And this is going to be a great moment for them to try to make a push, be aggressive. They're definitely going to fight over this 100 armor vest. There's a kill by Frag-M as they double team them off of it. And another 100 armor grab by Wolverine. So this could really be their chance to make a push, especially fighting over the shield belt area, and dig into that lead with just under 2 minutes to go. They have plenty of time left. They just want to pick their battles intelligently. And now down to a 3 frag lead again. We're going to see if Wolverine sneaks back around. Okay, looks like Frag-M's going to be grabbing this one. He had a little bit more armor left. I'm going board with him. We have 10 seconds to this amp, and this amp now is going to be critical. If someone can get a clean grab, that could either put the game away for BRD or allow SAS to continue this comeback, now down by 2. See Frag-M trying to go around the long way. Spixie's going to be waiting for him. You see that duel, that back and forth going up, and there is the end of the spree, and Spixie grabbing that amp and the kill, and that could be the key exchange right there. Still only a 4 frag lead, but able to end that spree, reset Frag-M, and grab that amp. And there's the follow-up kill now, a 5 frag lead with a minute to go. That could be it for SAS in this second map. Zion looks like he fell off the map. I actually didn't see if he got blasted off the map. We've seen 2 people fall off the map and didn't catch it on camera, unfortunately. Maybe we'll see when we're still only at a 3 frag deficit. So Wolverine here waiting on this 100 armor, but meanwhile, Frag-M fighting for his life in mid, only a 2 frag deficit. Anything could still happen here with 20 seconds to go. If both players go down, we could see overtime. And SAS right now, Wolverine here with the 100 armor, he's just looking to finish off these players. Look, Zion and Spixie are both less than 100 HP. Rocket's coming up, but Wolverine has no opportunity here to be defensive. He has to be aggressive. 2 quick shock shots. There's the finishing shot to tie it up with 2 seconds to go. And we are in overtime. SAS coming storming back in the last minute. And BRD unable to put this one away. Amp is going to be spawning right now. We'll see who can get in position for it. So Spixie and Zion right above that amp. Belt is across the map. Wolverine ready for that. Go on board with Spixie with that amp. Now we're going to have a 2-minute timed overtime here. Remember, BRD needs this win to stay alive and force a map 3. Wolverine, excuse me, SAS. Oh, between Wolverine and Fragim can secure this point with the victory here on map 2. Wolverine having that leftover shield belt, so he's the one that's going to be extra aggressive here, sneaking up behind, getting one rocket, but nice evasion there by Zion. But there is the killing combo there, and SAS takes the lead after being down for something like 6 or 7 minutes at the end of this one. Just inching their way back in, fighting their way back, grinding their way back in. Now up by 1 with a minute left in overtime. And only one power-up really left to worry about. We'll see, can BRD get in here and challenge us? And now they need a wipe with less than a minute to go. We saw BRD, or I should say SAS, in the same situation with BRD with the lead. Frag him this time with that belt, but really it's going to be on BRD to try to make something happen. They'll have about 10 seconds of amp time if they want to wait for that power-up. But frag him down to 39 HP. This could actually be an opportunity if they can find him to do some damage. We'll head over to this amp. 10 seconds till it spawns. Zion, though. Zion goes down. Spixie answers with a kill of his own. Spixie goes down. And if you're BRD, you can't afford to trade kills here. And they have to go for this amp. And it looks like they're going to run out of time with 5 seconds to go in a 4-frag lead. SAS is going to secure the victory with the comeback. Last few moments of this one. Looked like BRD was going to be able to hang on. They were in great position. SAS, though, fought their way back in, forced overtime, and took it. And another point on the board for SAS. Yeah, Twitch chat makes a good point here. We saw multiple people falling off the map there between, I think there was a cannon shot on Aiko. I didn't actually see that on screen. We may go back. He went flying across the minimap. I'm going to presume that was a cannon shot. And then we saw Zion falling off the map. Anytime, I mean, when you see an overtime map, you know, you literally can't get closer than that. So every single decision, every single misstep coming up so huge. So I'm going to give you just a quick look at the brackets while we're waiting for that next, in this case, duel match to spawn soon. So, of course, we have BRD versus SAS happening right now. BRD is going to stick around and play Absolute next, and Absolute versus Gangsters be the third map of our day, or third match of our day. And for anyone who hasn't been watching, the Challenger Division has also been super exciting. You have so many teams and so many matches happening. You can see down there still a bunch more maps or matches to be played. So, and that's the one thing I wanted to point out. The Challenger Division down low with 9 teams left in it. Still a ton of matches to play, so that's going to continue all the way, you can see. Probably not until December. I'm going to say it'll probably be done hopefully in May. So even after this Epic Division closes out, keep an eye out for that. Lots of players will be streaming themselves. We've got some other folks that might be casting. I might even jump in. I casted one match yesterday. You can, of course, check that out on my VODs. So lots more content coming at you, even beyond the Epic Division, which will be wrapping up next week. So BRD versus Saints and Sinners. Curious to see who's going to be fighting in their duels for them. I'm in game right now waiting for that hub to pop up. Should be up in any moment. Well, while they get that set up, I'm going to take this opportunity to just go grab some water. I'll be back with you in just a couple of seconds. On to the duel portion of this first matchup of the day. All right, we got Slay versus Flick Switch up on a race, and we'll be getting right into that one. If it'll let me join the hub. There we go. I'm sure that message from Slay was just letting me know that they were up and going. So there you go, Flick Switch versus Slay. Two very experienced duelers. I do see some talk about the format in Twitch chat. Appreciate that, everyone, because I'm a little bit busy here talking about other things and looking at the rain outside and being distracted by squirrels running by. All right, there are all the readies. We are almost ready to go here. Here's a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and it's game time, baby. Kynex 5 here. Duel number 1 between these two teams. Of course, the duel will also be a best of 3 worth its own point. So right off the bat, a little bit of a, I don't want to say a slow start, but a methodical start for these two. Nobody wanted to over-engage, over-commit. Ooh, there's the rising headshot by Slay. Flick Switch had him lined up for a combo, and Slay does the old finger wag and sends it out. Not in my house. Oh, Slay with the brutal chase down, too. All over him with that link gun, and already a 2-frag lead from what was seemingly a slow, methodical start from these two. Highly aggressive now on the follow-up kill. Still plenty of time left in this one, but right now, Slay, oh, but Flick Switch answers back, this time with a 180 sniper shot. Slay respawns right in front of him. Nice job to get away. But now Flick Switch gonna be well in control. Trying to erase that deficit. Nice timing on that sniper shot. Was hoping for a headshot, but got him just in time jumping for that shock rifle. And another one, 2 shots in a row, so some nice aim already coming out on display from these two. And you see Flick there backing into that 100 armor. Slay gonna circle around, grab that 50, and just try to get himself situated here. Looking for some armor, looking for a couple weapons. He might not even challenge this shield belt. The belt will be spawning in 3 seconds. Slay's a little bit out of position. He doesn't want to give up another kill just to try to challenge it. He throws a couple rockets down from up top, but I think he's going to circle back around and maybe get in position for that 100 armor vest. He's actually got Flick Switch down to 64 armor, so if he can get that 100 in him, he'll actually turn this around and have an advantage for a bit. All right, so 70 versus 100 armor, so pretty even matchup here. And this is where you're gonna see these two kind of separate, slow things down a bit. Ooh, rockets off the ledge there. Smart play there by Flick Switch, just going for that consistent damage. And that mid-air shock primary, Flick Switch has just been on fire with his hit scan so far this match. Unfortunately for him, Slay has also been on fire. Flick grabbing that belt. We'll take a quick look. You can see 2 belts to none for Flick Switch. Oh, big rocket. This could be his opportunity to pin him to the wall with the rockets. He's to finish him off. There's the link gun and the lead to Flick Switch early on in this one. Oh, Slay answers right back. We're going to be looking at a tie game. Still not halfway into this one. And Flick Switch, unfortunately, pinned back by that 100 armor. And Slay all of a sudden can't hit, so both players with an impressive display of aim early on in this one. And a little bit of a back and forth. Kind of looking like a Stormtrooper duel for a bit. Oh, Flak versus Shock, close range, and Shock actually wins. So Slay standing in with that Shock Rifle, making it happen. Flick Switch gonna back off and take that Shock Rifle and 100. Nice fall away combo there by Flick to fight him off. And now Slay's gotta be a little bit careful as he's down to 12 armor just like that. Ooh, so both players now all of a sudden turn on the aggression, standing in there with 21 HP for Flick. He's gonna finally back up to that 50. Slay gonna grab some health. Of course, he's already at 100 health. And it looks like they're probably gonna be at a foot race to this 100 armor vest. Slay grabs it, turns around. And one little thing to note there, I try to point this out. Slay able to get back to that 100 armor vest and grab it, minimizing the amount of time his back was turned. You wanna try to keep your crosshair toward your opponent at all times if possible. And that's something you're gonna see a lot of the high level players really adept at. Shot combos flying all around. Minimal damage though. Rockets though to the feet. Flick Switch being aggressive and with the chase down, able to take the lead right back as we pass the halfway point of this map. Oh, and there's the Enforcers coming right back at him. And this could be Slay's opportunity to take the lead. There it goes. So Slay with a smart move off the spawn, finishing him off with the starter weapon with that Enforcer pistol. And then the follow-up kill to take the lead right back. So 100 armor is actually up. A little bit of maybe a delay there by Slay. Not sure if he wanted to change the timing or was just trying to bait him into it. Great combo from underneath there. Flick Switch was using a wall run to try to get away, and another follow-up combo. That combo to the back there. And another one up top. You can see how comfortable Slay is with this map, throwing combos in some very tight spots. Just perfect anticipation. Putting Flick Switch on his heels, but Flick Switch, a little bit more armor there to stand in there, but could not withstand it. So a 2-frag lead now for Slay, looking for that spawn kill. Not gonna happen. Flick Switch with that dangerous sniper rifle, but unfortunately for him, Slay able to do some chip damage and then follow it up with some finisher action with that link gun and up to a 3-frag lead just like that. And so far, really the difference in this game has been Flick standing in there. He's been fighting with Slay and really battling him pretty effectively, but whenever Slay gets one kill, he's been able to turn that into 2-3, and just like that, up by 4 and on a killing spree. We're seeing a ton of anticipation now. Slay with these shot combos really just keeping him at bay. And down to under 3 minutes to go. Flick Switch is going to have to try to find an opportunity to get some shots in. Slay's actually been relatively weak for a bunch of this map, but just knowing exactly what he can afford to do, when he can afford to tank damage. Standing toe-to-toe with Flick a lot of these times with a link gun and just winning those battles. So let's see what it looks like from Flick Switch's perspective. He does manage to get that 100 armor vest. That's going to give him a little bit of ability to be aggressive if he needs to be. Oh, you see him dodging that rocket. Ooh, Flick Switch there doesn't grab the health. I'm not sure if he did that on purpose to try to avoid giving away his position, or if he just accidentally slid right by him. See if that comes into play here. He does have plenty of armor. Nice fall-away combo, but he's going to be looking for the finishing kill. Oh, there it is, the finishing blow to get that kill. 6-9, 3 kills to go with a minute and a half. Nice air rocket on Slay there to follow it up, down by 2. If he can find him off the spawn, he's got a chance here. We've seen leads get erased in less time on this map. It's all about guessing correctly with those spawns. If Slay gets some fortunate spawns like he did there, you can run away in this map reasonably effectively. So Flick now is just gonna have to cut him off, figure out where he's going. He's got 15 seconds till that belt spawn, so that's not really a concern. He sees him across the map, gets one shot on him. Now he's gonna have to try to cut him off. He guesses right, has rockets in him. There it is, in the back. He's pinned against the wall. Slay trying to just stand in there and finish him off with that Lincoln. He's gonna go down to that belt. So right now, Flick Switch playing it cool. Trying to chase him down, but he went for that belt instead of the kill. We'll see if that works out for him. Gonna be chasing Slay, and he doesn't have an opportunity to be careful. He's gonna jump in his face with rockets, eating Link Gun, and unfortunately that Link Gun may have actually won the match there for Slay, because Flick has to run away, gather up health, and that's gonna take so much time off the clock. That may be it. So that Link Gun defense right there by Slay, absolutely key in fighting off Flick Switch, who had a really, really solid chance to come back. All right, so map 2 coming up. I'm not sure what the picks are gonna be. This was Erase. I'm actually not sure the format, whose map pick this would have been. Based on the way these two have played, obviously both looking very familiar on it. I mean, Erase is gonna be a comfortable map for anyone who's been dueling. Slay able to hold on to this one, and we'll have the next map coming up here in just a few seconds. All right, we are gonna be on Echo now. Looks like both players are in, so nobody having to download the map. That's always a good sign. Echo, a new map for this season. We've already seen it a couple times in the season, but we're gonna see it again here as both players are readied up, and here is your countdown. As we look at that Emerald Radiation waterfall, here's a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and it's game time, baby. Connex 5 bringing you map 2. We just saw a Nail Biter here. Flick Switch just coming up short in the comeback bid against Slay, so Slay up 1 map to nothing. We are on Echo. Again, a new map for this season, so everyone should have had plenty of time to practice on it, but it's still going to be relatively new. You're not going to see quite the same level of comfort that you might have seen on some of the older maps, and Slay, with a combo to the back, looking very comfortable on it. Already looking for the spawn kill, so Slay definitely knows this map. We'll see if Flick Switch can counter right back. So that's a nice move right there. Slay actually up top, using that shock rifle, was able to push Flick Switch away from that sniper rifle. Flick Switch sneaking down in there, grabbing that small armor. Back up to 75 armor, so he's actually got a bit of a life lead on Slay if he can cut him off and force a fight. Only a couple weapons though, so he might be looking to soak up some more items before... Oh, actually sneaks back to that belt, so I didn't even realize Slay was out of position for that shield belt. A bit of a misstep, finding himself out of position, and now Flick Switch with a huge life lead. Just needs to find an opportunity, and Slay dropping down on him with Lincoln. That could be dangerous versus rockets, and Flick Switch. Maybe a little bit of a tilt there, eating some Link. You see the delayed spawn trying to catch a breather. Don't think he's happy with the Link chase downs of Slay. We'll look from Slay's perspective now with a 3-0 lead and 100 armor. Oh, eats some rockets, and Flick takes him right back down, and we'll see if he can follow up with some spawn kills. Eat into this lead. Link versus Shock up close. Link is actually a pretty decent counter to Shock up close. It really makes it hard to train your aim. Slay though stands in there, gets the kill. Oh, and almost gets the follow-up combo. There's the second one and the belt, and right now Slay firmly in control. So I'm not sure if this was Slay's map pick, but he is certainly looking dominant on it early on in this one. Take a quick look at the scoreboard to give you an idea of the discrepancy. Belts have been split. We saw Flick Switch catching Slay out of position earlier for one, but the 100 armor vests all in Slay's favor, damage in his favor, and of course a 6-1 lead. Oh, the combo from across the map. Slay just waiting for that opportunity. As it is, these players kind of backing up a little bit. The last couple minutes have been pretty quiet. Oh, there was a huge combo opportunity for Slay. Instead, Flick Switch gets in his face with Flak. Not a bad move. Another Flak ball to the face, chasing him down, and now Slay on the run. Under 100 HP for the first time in a while. And Flick grabbing himself a belt on top of that will go on board with him. He's got a huge life lead now, down to 12 HP. Finally gets the finishing kill with that Flak cannon. And lots of time here trying to dig out of this hole. But you saw what happened there. Slay again, just brutal with the finishing with that Link gun. 8-2 now. Just waiting for his opportunity. So I mean, not exactly a super top secret strategy there. Basically looking to do chip damage and then finish him up with that Link gun. And there is the concession. Yeah, it looked like Slay maybe with a little bit more comfort on this map. And Slay taking another point for SAS in the first duel portion of this. So we'll have the last duel of this matchup coming up here in just a bit, so stick around. So it looks like it's going to be Snatch versus Tamerlane in our last duel between these two teams. For that final and 5th point. Just waiting for that game to jump up here on the hubs. Here it is. All right, so we already got it up. This time we're moving to the DE hub.
time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I am all out of gum.
Looks like they're doing some server testing. We may stick around here. We'll give them a second to test it out, or we may jump back onto one of the other servers. So bear with us while we find the best battleground for this matchup. Alright, so it looks like we're going back to the Phoenix Hub, so we'll give them just a second to get that match up and running. So just to recap, SES taking the first 4 points of this matchup. This is the last opportunity for BRD to get some points on the board. Remember, BRD does have another match right after this one. They're pulling a doubleheader. So very, very important day for them, especially the match after this one. Is keep trying to put points on the board. Remember, this is essentially a round-robin season. Everyone will play everyone. And those final points will dictate our final placings. Like Snatch is ready to go. Tamerlane in here to ASDF map 1 starting right now. Here is a countdown. 3, 2, 1. And it's game time, baby. Connex 5. We're here with our last duel of this matchup. Snatch versus Tamerlane on ASDF. This will be an interesting one. Snatch being super sneaky right now. Tamerlane up top. I think what you're really going to see here is Tamerlane, one of the best snipers in our league that we've seen so far. He's going to really be trying to bring that out, and you see that on display right there with that sniper able to stand in there. Has so much confidence in his own aim. I think Snatch's real advantage here is going to be his prediction and map knowledge. If he can do things like layout combos and catch Tamerlane from around corners. Ooh, actually does just that right there. Coming right back in and tying it back up. That's what I think Snatch's, I guess, competitive advantage would be, if you will. He's going to be catching Tamerlane, peeking around corners, getting that free damage from anticipating his movement. Tamerlane, for his part, if he can force, head-to-head hit scan battles, I think he really has a chance here. He can stand in with the sniper rifle with pretty much anyone in the game. Oh, and Snatch again with that combo, and don't be surprised if you see the majority of Snatch's kills this match come off of, well, Link's probably not a bad one, but combos, and then maybe Link gun chase downs afterwards. I think that's going to be his biggest opportunity. Tamerlane probably going to be looking to snipe, so probably a better map. This probably is Snatch's map pick, all things considered. We'll see if Tamerlane picks something a little more open for map 2. You see a couple more snipes, and I think that might have been a headshot. Tamerlane hitting shot after shot. Now we'll go on board with him to see if he can hit that clutch final shot, and he does. Catches him diving for that health, pulling back within 1. We are very early on in this one, and already back and forth between these two. Ooh, and another headshot. Tamerlane right now on fire, and this is exactly what we said he can do. Oh, and the nice movement there by Snatch to escape and just begging Tamerlane to come around the corner and eat that combo. Tamer with that shot lined up, but can't make it connect. Snatch somehow escaped there. Probably should have died. And backed up into that corner, able to avoid line of sight, get away. That was a really, really crafty move there by Snatch. This could very easily be a tie game against most players, but was able to get away. Oh, and pushes him away from that combo. Belt is up though, so Snatch doing some damage, but oh, should have eaten a combo there. And Tamerlane right now having his opportunities. Now it's going to be shot to shot, and Snatch actually comes away with the victory there. Tamerlane there had two big chances to tie this game up. Instead, it's a 2-frag lead, and Snatch on the run, still only 75 HP. And credit that to experience. Snatch has been playing duels for quite some time. That escape though. Oh, the follow-up rocket to sniper. It's gonna take a little bit longer in this game than than something like Quake. You see that anticipation there. Tamerlane knowing he's got to go grab that health. Zoning him out with that shock, and again though, a nice move by Snatch. Snatch's movement's actually making a huge difference in this map. It's a 3-frag lead. It could be very easily be a tie game right now. Up to 4. Snatch now on a roll. Of course, getting those spawn kills entirely based on experience and map knowledge, knowing exactly where your opponent can spawn, and the air rocket to finish him off. Snatch on a roll right now, but we're still not even halfway through this one. Tamerlane can still fight his way back in it. Snatch right there pretty much just stood still. Looked like the cube. Just standing where you are is the winning move. Looking around the map and just letting Tamerlane run right back into him. And Tamerlane with the early concession. Snatch firmly in control of that one, but Tamer had a couple huge opportunities there a couple of minutes ago, and Snatch, once he took control, just churning out those spawn kills. So there you go, map 1 going to Snatch, really taking the reins and taking control of this one and running away with it towards the end there. But Tamerlane had his opportunities. There were a couple of key moments there. He had Snatch pinned into the corner, one shot away from killing him with that sniper, and Snatch got away. There was a combo lined up that would have annihilated Snatch. There was some really big chances there where Tamerlane was 1 or 2 shots away from taking control of this map. All right, now we are on Echo once again. SAS, when we had the first duel, Slay looked dominant on this map. We'll see if Snatch can answer with his own dominant performance, or if Tamerlane can bite back and try to tie this one up and force a map 3. Right off the bat, you see similar gameplay styles. I don't think you're going to see these two players play particularly different on this map. I think Snatch is still going to want to rely on his prediction. Tamerlane going to be running around likely with a sniper rifle much of the time. Oh, throws a rocket into Snatch's face. Gets big damage, but Snatch hangs in there with 14 HP, grabs that armor and gets away. And Tamerlane, map 1 left with so many what ifs. It ended up being kind of a steamroll in the end as far as the numbers go, but really that was a dead even match, and Snatch just came away with a couple of victories and fights, or at the very least escapes, and that was so key. There's a close range rocket, so nice rockets there to keep Snatch at bay, and a nice move there by Tamerlane. Uses rockets to push him away with that link chase down. Follows it up with the shot combo. So big damage here by Tamerlane. Again, off the spawn. Doesn't have a finished weapon, but knocks him into the electrocuting irradiated water or whatever that is, and Snatch comes back and gets the kill. And that's another one of those moments we saw last game. This time Tamerlane able to chase him down, so heads up play by Tamerlane. Chasing him down with that Enforcer off the spawn. Snatch trying to answer right back. But that was one of those moments that we saw Tamerlane missing in map 1 and ended up costing him, and now we're seeing it again in map 2, just one shot away from coming away with a kill, and instead Snatch building another lead. There's a big combo around the corner, and Snatch now with that free kill, and that's the key there. Doesn't just get a kill, but gets a kill and takes no damage in the process. Oh, and there's a rocket to his feet though, so Snatch gave up a little bit of an armor advantage. Tamerlane on the chase down. Actually surprised to see Snatch standing in there with an armor disadvantage, trying to fight with the head-to-head hit scan duels. Instead, we got rockets coming out right around that pillar, right around the shock rifle. Rockets more coming out from Tamerlane, more damage. Snatch down to 19 HP, looking for that finishing kill. Finishing blow for the kill. All he needs is this link gun though, but really sticking to that sniper rifle. He's married to that playstyle, and he's got another kill now, so only down by 1. Tamerlane fighting right back into this one. We do see some comfort now. Tamerlane running around the map backwards, looking like he's definitely played this map a decent amount, has some familiarity with it. Oh, the close range sniper defending himself from that flak. That was actually a really huge shot. If he misses that shot, Snatch is probably in his grill with that flak, and who knows what happens there instead. Tamerlane gets away, keeps control of that shield belt, and only a 1 frag deficit. Catches him around the corner. Oh, if he doesn't pick up that shock rifle, he might actually have a chance there to get that combo and get a kill. Instead, with the chase down, there's one combo. Guesses wrong, and Snatch just keeping him guessing right now. But Snatch now grabbing that vest, has the armor advantage. Tamerlane's gonna be on the run. Grabs a 50 to help, but really those 3 shock primaries and the finishing blow with that sniper rifle. Tamerlane on fire right now with that hit scan, and he's gonna be looking to try to make it a lead if he can catch him off the spawn. Ooh, rockets from up top. Tamerlane again has him down to 3 HP. Trying to finish him off with a sniper rifle, going for the home run shot. I don't think he realizes how low he's had Snatch. Snatch with a 3 damage chase down with the rockets. Waiting for that belt, so Snatch there with 3 HP gets the kill and the shield belt. Absolutely huge turnaround there to take the lead right back. And if Tamerlane's gonna learn anything from this match, it might be that you want to switch to those finishing weapons to get that consistent damage sometimes to lock down that kill. He's given up a couple trying to go for the sniper finisher, but the problem is when you miss with the sniper rifle, both your weapon switch time and the cooldown time on your shots is just so long. It's such a home run shot, especially in close to medium range like that. That said, we're only halfway through this one and still a 1 frag game. Tamerlane can still atone for those missteps. Snatch down to 100 over 88. Tamerlane still fighting his way back into this one. Just looking for an opportunity. Meanwhile, Snatch trying to control that shock rifle. Wants him to walk into combos. Does not want to stand toe to toe. So Snatch right now on the run, or on the hunt. He's got so much health and armor. I think he wants to start a fight right now. Tamerlane's running away a little bit. 100 over 70. You see 150 over 150 and the 100 armor in his possession. Snatch is absolutely stacked. He knows Tamerlane is weak. And there's the shock primary juggling going on. Snatch backs up to that 150. Misses that jump, so going to be low on ammo. Could be key. And there is that chase down, and that's why it's so important to be switching to that link gun to finish people off. It locks them down. It causes them to miss their movement sometimes, and it's so hard to aim when someone's just drilling you in the face with that link gun. There's a sniper shot by Tamerlane. He's going to need to hit a bunch more, though. He does manage to sneak around and grab that shield belt, so Snatch perhaps losing timing a little bit. Oh, Tamer with the double back, trying to get some damage. Pretty much gave up a kill there, but did take down Snatch to back to 100 health. Fortunately for him, it's going to be a 3-frag lead now. Ooh, and a big combo off the spawn, and now Snatch on a roll with that 50 in his possession. Gonna be looking to grab another kill off the spawn if he can find him. See him diving at him with link gun. Actually, pretty good defense there by Tamerlane to push him away. Still a slight health lead, and it's gonna be tied right back up, so pretty good defense there by Tamerlane. Could have easily gotten killed. Instead, fights him off, gets himself the ability to go scoop up some more weapons and maybe some armor and gear up for another fight. But Snatch, of course, so experienced, keeping timing of that vest, ready to go for it. Put himself in position to knock him right off of that belt. There's the killing spree, and that's gonna be the concession right there. So Snatch taking this one over Tamerlane. Tamerlane with so many opportunities. I mean, he's gotta feel both good and terrible after that duel, because both maps were within reach. Just a couple of key shots not connecting, a couple of maybe weapon switches that he might want to clean up. And Tamerlane just a couple steps away. But as it is, SAS rolling through perfect in this matchup. 5 more points on the board for them. We'll take a quick look at your rankings. So of course this preliminary, but SAS gonna continue to stay on top now. That'll give them 19 points, so only dropping 1 point so far